Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to have two of the top representatives from St Kitts and Nevis. They are the top of the pile. I will let them introduce themselves. On my right, I have
I'm Ermelin Sebastian Duggins. I'm the chair of the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, and I'm absolutely delighted to have this conversation.
And on my left, I have...
And I am Ellison Thompson, and I'm the CEO of the St. Kitts Tourism Authority.
Couldn't get higher than that, could you? So tell me what's new in St. Kitts. We went through this massive growth period. I think it's probably about 10 years ago in St. Kitts, with all sorts of things going on with Salt Plage and all new hotels and Catition Hill and everything else. And then, of course, the world came to a grinding halt with all sorts of problems, financial issues, and then, of course, we had COVID. So where are we at currently with St. Kitts? Maybe I can ask you, Chairperson.
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 Well, very new and exciting developments. Of course, we've just rolled out a new campaign. We're inviting persons to not only follow their heart to St. Kitts, but when you get there, to venture deeper. We're really pushing an immersive, very authentic experience where we're taking you beyond the sun, sea, and sand that persons expect from the Caribbean to that experience where you can immerse yourself in the culture, the history, the food, and the personalities. So it really gives one a chance to become one, so to speak, with our people, our culture, our history, as I said before. And I'm going to, of course, invite the CEO to tell you a little bit more about that and some other developments.
Okay, Tom.
Yeah. So, as the chair said, we've rolled out the Venture Deeper campaign, but we also have some exciting news in terms of airlift. Regional airlift has been a challenge for us, but we've also brought in Inter-Caribbean from Barbados and also Caribbean Airways that flies now from Barbados to St. Kitts and also from Port of Spain via Antigua into St. Kitts. So that's really added to the ease of getting around the islands. And for those who want to do twin centers, it makes it that much easier. And then last week, or 2 weeks ago now, JetBlue began service from JFK into St. Kitts. And the reason we bring that up is because it's year-round service and it's 3 times a week. JetBlue also have service from JFK to London Heathrow. So those persons who are going to New York, we are inviting them to come down and spend a long weekend with us in St. Kitts or even longer. So, the ease of getting there is just that much easier. I think one of the other new things that we've done is we've rolled out a new website that came on stream at the beginning of October. And it's really very, very easy to navigate, some stunning visuals and lots of great information. And it's visitstkids.com. So really easy URL to tune into.
Well, that couldn't be a bigger contrast, Manhattan to St. Kitts, could it, really?
Does that sound inviting?
It does. It sounds very inviting. Knowing both destinations very well myself, it sounds a splendid combination. One of the things we've been talking about last week at World Travel Market, and we've been talking about it for some time, is that during COVID, many destination organizations were talking about when it's all over, we're going to build back better. We're going to be very much involved in the community. We're going to be involving all sorts of players within the tourism field. And we're going to be talking about destination stewardship as well as destination marketing. Do you think St. Kitts Tourism Authorities have done that already, or do you think you've still got strides to make?
I think we've made a great start, but there's always something more to be done. So, the plan for St. Kitts is really to make it a year-round destination so that the Kittitians can benefit from the value of tourism. So in that regard, we're looking at how we introduce community tourism to get the visitors out of town, out of Bastille, and into the various communities. So we're working very closely with the Ministry of Tourism in terms of initiatives within the communities that's going to draw our visitors to that part of the island. So that definitely is something that we have on the radar, and I think we've made the first steps in making it a reality.
And just to add to what he said, there's some ongoing campaigns, even from an education standpoint. So we believe that we have to start from very young. So there's lots of moves towards partnering with the Ministry of Education and really getting the message to the young ones. And beyond that, I think just this weekend coming, there's a big festival that focuses on tourism and St. Kitts as a destination, and really incorporating the community and the average person in promoting the destination, and also sort of maintaining what's authentic about the destination, other environmental concerns and issues, things like that. So it's really an all hands on deck approach.
It's interesting you talk about the environment, because that's the other aspect. Obviously, climate change affects everyone in the world, but it particularly affects people, it affects people that are in island communities, rising sea levels, hurricane season, all those sorts of things probably adversely affect the Caribbean and other areas in that sphere more than anywhere else, and particularly when your economy is so dependent upon tourism. What sort of things are you doing within your own environment to stave off climate change, and how much pressure do you think that your government puts on larger bodies in order to alleviate some of those issues?
I think one of the things we have to realize is that the carbon footprint of St. Kitts is kind of minuscule. So we're really I wouldn't say the beneficiaries, but we're the recipients of the effects of climate change. Luckily, we do have some elevation in St. Kitts. So in terms of coastal flooding, it's not going to be affected at this time quite right now. But some of the things that we are doing, particularly in the schools, is educating the youngsters, because they're the ones who are going to actually have to live with the effects of climate change, of how it affects them and what they can do to mitigate it. So we're very conscious that we've got to make sure that we reduce the carbon footprint as much as possible. So there's a lot of sustainable committees that have been put together to look at ways to tackle this. So this will look at not only cleaning up, but reduce use of plastics, also increasing the rainforest. So we were actually one of the few countries in the world where the rainforest is actually increasing. So that then also helps mitigate the effects of carbon.
It's interesting because it's difficult to argue the case unless your own bill of health is clean, isn't it? And I think that's within the Caribbean, as you say, most islands have a very, very low carbon footprint. But unless you do all the other things like single-use plastics and try and reduce that carbon footprint even more, it's difficult to go to greater bodies and actually argue the case. So that's very encouraging.
And we think as a destination as well, we are promoting sustainability generally.
Yeah.
So of course we want to focus on things like water conservation, and there are a number of partners in that respect. So we have properties like Sunset Reef and Kittition Hill that focus a lot on those aspects. So the traveler not only gets to come in and enjoy the island, but also gets to contribute to, important aspects of sustainability and the environment as well. So double benefits.
It's interesting that the overall effect of it, I think, is that you get a much more authentic experience, and I think that's what you're pushing for in terms of brand, by the sound of it. And whenever I've been on Ireland, I've always thought I would know that I was in St. Kitts very quickly, and I think that's a very, very positive brand credential to have amongst the Caribbean. You're in the Caribbean, you're in St. Kitts very quickly, which is good. So the prospects for 2024, we're coming to the end of 2023. Are you comfortable? Are you positive about the forthcoming year?
Oh, definitely. I think we were one of the countries that opened later in terms of getting through COVID. So we really just fully opened up in August last year. And I think we've seen that because of with the product that St. Kitts offers in terms of an authentic experience, a lesser known destination, somewhere where you can immerse yourself with the local culture and the local population. That's what the consumer's looking for. And St. Kitts really nicely ticks all those boxes. And we've actually ramped up the PR out of the UK. We've also ramped up the social media. And in terms of the advertising, that's been ramped up as well as increasing sales force on the ground. And we're also working very closely with the travel trade in order for them to get more information about St. Kitts and encourage them, them to sell the destination. So we also have a travel uni for travel advisors. And also we've got a really nice £50 bonus for those who are making bookings to St. Kitts. So I think we're doing all the right things in terms of attracting visitors to St. Kitts. And then when we look at the increase in visitors, we see a 38% increase from the UK into St. Kitts. So we're very, very pleased with that and definitely feel like we'll be moving in the right direction.
Excellent. Well, I thank you both for your time. The one last thing I was going to say, that the young man that scored the equalising goal for Chelsea yesterday in the Premier League is, and I understand his father is Cattician, which must be good for you.
Yes, indeed. You're talking about Marcus, right?
No, his name's
No,
Cole, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what I was looking. He
Yes,
scored the
that's correct.
penalty at the end. So he is Cattician. So you could, he's just been pulled into the England team, so I don't think he's going to play for St. Kitts.
Well, please let him know that he's always welcome to.
Yes, we got brand ambassador. We got to hook him in.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you very much. And